Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Santa Barbara Zoomcast. I'm Joe Parker, and today I am super excited because I got Brock Cannon here. He's a local entrepreneur who's working in the personal development space. He's taken it upon himself to really get educated on different ways that we can empower ourselves, really bring a lot of great living into our own life through what we're focusing on and what we're doing. He's been working with men in men's groups. I think he's got some stuff coming up in that area of his expertise. And the way that I came across Brock is that I've gotten really into following this guy, Wim Hof. And you may have heard of him too. He's this wild man who's developed some really simple, approachable techniques for us to use as human beings to tap into our bodies, our nervous systems, and really create a lot of improvement on areas that we feel like we're struggling. So Wim Hof caught my eye. I read his book. I loved it. And then on the Support Santa Barbara Biz page, here comes Brock posting about how he just got certified, one of the few people in our area that is certified in the Wim Hof Method, and that he was going to be leading workshops. And so I got super excited. I went to one of his workshops. And so we're doing this interview today to introduce you to Brock and the Wim Hof Method and all the things that he's been up to and what he's doing. So Brock, thanks for being here. Good to see you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Joe.
Yeah, this is awesome. So let's dive into it. First, how did you end up in Santa Barbara?
I'm from Salt Lake City originally. I spent 1 year in the busy city of Manhattan, and I was looking to get out. So kind of was looking for a place that had beach and mountains, and this fit the ticket. So I've been here almost 4 years now.
Yeah, nice choice. Cool. And so we met as I saw that you had just got certified in the Wim Hof Method. Tell me about that. What led you to go down the road of getting certified, which is no easy task, I take it.
Yeah. I always tell people I found the Wim Hof Method really out of desperation, out of my own anxiety. I really struggled most of my adult life with anxiety, occasional depression, and certainly bouts of stress, just like everyone else in the world. So it was a couple of years ago. I was having just an anxious day from hell. I couldn't get out of my head. My heart was beating out of my chest. And I had this impression to jump in this freezing river. I was visiting in Utah at the time. It was the middle of winter. And I had remembered Wim Hof. I had seen a YouTube video of this crazy Dutchman running on the ice probably a decade before, but I didn't know much about it. All I knew is I just had this little voice, intuition, telling me to jump in the river. And I had no training, but I did. I jumped in at the end of my run, and I just noticed I was out of my head immediately. And that's what the cold will do. And so that was the first plunge that I ever really did. It was only like 5 seconds, but it worked. And it piqued my curiosity, and I continued to study. And then ultimately ended up getting certified to teach, which, like you said, took a little over a year to do. It was really awesome.
Wow. And was that done during like one extensive round of course and tests or anything, or did you have to do this over several? And I imagine you had to do it outside of Santa Barbara. You had to travel to get it done.
Yeah, I had to do a pretty extensive online module to begin. And then once you get that done, you go to an in-person one. And then the final, most advanced module was supposed to be in Poland with Wim, but because of COVID this last year, that was canceled. And we went to Colorado, which was still plenty cold and did the job. So yeah.
Great. Well, so for people that have heard of Wim Hof or maybe haven't heard of Wim Hof but don't know much about it, let's dive into the method. He's talking about 3 pillars. And so how do you explain the Wim Hof method to people when you're introducing them to the program?
Yeah. So 3 pillars, like you said, consist of mindset, cold exposure training, gradual cold exposure training, mind you, and also breathing techniques. And so all 3 of those kind of work synergistically. The most common thing that the average person does that's a Wim Hof practitioner would be some of the breathing techniques, maybe in the morning, maybe 15, 20 minutes, gets you feeling really, really euphoric, really good, reduces inflammation, and you just feel great when you do it. And then it would be followed probably in most cases by just a cold shower. And honestly, most people across the board that practice Wim Hof, that's all they do. They do the breathing and they take some cold showers. Now, you don't have to take a cold shower the whole time. You could start with your warm, hot shower and, wash your hair and do everything. And then just ending with maybe 15, 30 seconds, maybe working up to a minute or two. And you'll get the benefits of, noradrenaline released, your dopamine levels skyrocket, just from a cold shower, and you'll feel energized and really good the rest of the day. So that's kind of the basics with it.
Yeah. I like that. The mindset, and then the cold exposure and the breath work. And so on my personal practice, I came across some of the videos, watched those, read the book or listened to the book, which was great. I really enjoyed it. Highly recommend that. And then dabbled into getting the app that helped me hone in on the techniques and everything, and went to one of your workshops, which was great. We had a nice sunny day, so that was great. We got in the ice water. That was my first actual ice bath. I've been doing the cold showers, but that was an amazing experience. Really cool. It was fun to really get under the ice. So that was super great. But in my own personal experience, I do find that I've done lots of meditation over the last few years. The breath work gets me in a whole nother level that, it seems to get deeper than I've been able to achieve on normal meditation. And I do feel like this relaxation and this reset that comes from it. And it's really, it's quite amazing, that buzz you get from it. So that's been really cool. And in the cold showers, just as you mentioned, you don't have to, I think it's intimidating. People are like, a cold shower just sounds awful. And starting off with your normal warm shower, and the way that they advise to get into it with just a little bit at a time, end with 5 seconds of cold, take it all the way to the cold, let it get all the way cold, 5 seconds. Day number 2, 10 seconds, work your way up to 2 minutes. That's going to take you what, 25 days or something. And you'll find that, I personally just that vibrancy, that buzz you get after the cold, and you're toweling off, and you just got this whole nother, it's similar to like a great jolt of energy you would get maybe from like a really nice cup of coffee or something, but cleaner, cleaner and more just kind of rooted in your being somehow. So I find that to be really, really cool. And you got your own little ice bath at home, huh? So you're doing a bit of that too, huh?
Yeah. You're welcome anytime, man. Yeah.
It's really cool. And I find the app very helpful. And so are you doing some workshops in the community now? I'm noticing that you're posting, you've got a few different styles, some that include the ice bath and some that don't.
Yeah, exactly. So I do just the Wim Hof breathing. Those are only 75 minutes, kind of similar to a yoga class. You just drop in, learn the theory, learn the breathing mechanics, and go for it. And we do the breathing as a group, and it's really nice. And then the fundamentals workshops are the breathing plus the cold exposure plus, the whole thing. And those are about 4 hours typically. I don't have any scheduled yet, but probably by the end of the month, I should have another one.
Right on. Yeah, we'll be looking forward to that. And what I think a lot of people will appreciate about the Wim Hof method, especially if you're a bit skeptical, or you're just kind of more of, a science type person, you just, maybe not into the fluffy nature of personal development, like the yoga style, the meditation, the, connecting with your being and whatever else you believe in. What's really interesting about Wim Hof is that he has really taken what he's learned and what's worked for him and exposed it up against science. And then science has taken note of Wim Hof and what he's been able to accomplish and the feats he's done in his life and the world records he holds by getting himself into these states of mind to be able to basically show mind over matter in action and let scientists really observe what's happening in the body. So as you dive into this, if you get curious by this video and you haven't really dove into it yet, you'll find that there's all this amazing science behind the Wim Hof method and what he's done and how he's done it and what he's been able to do to manipulate his body, his cellular biology, his blood, everything. I mean, just amazing stuff. So you'll really get curious. You'll really find a lot of evidence in there. And what I find and what worked for me is that when you understand it, you understand what to do and you understand what's happening to your body when you do these things, it increases your chances that you're going to actually do it and use it and create these habits that will benefit you. And so I really appreciate the way that he's been able to take it to that level of scientific exposure so that it's even more approachable to people who may be a bit more skeptical of things of this nature. So isn't that pretty cool how he's been able to do that, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Wim's all about backing everything he does with science, which I really appreciate.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on the Zoomcast and sharing what you're doing and bringing this to our community. I think people are really starting to make note of all this going on, and they're finding different ways to connect with themselves. And this is definitely one of those ways, and it's a great one. And so I hope people that get curious by this come check out what you're doing, follow you, and see when the opportunities come up that they could get plugged in and give it a try.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having more people out, and whether you want to just come breathe or breathe and then jump in the ice, always awesome experience. So
Right
thanks.
on. Cool. All right, Brock. Well, great to see you. Thanks again. And hope you have a great rest of your day.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you, Joe.